To do a quick little book review for you as well, because this relates to the non-beauty related part of my channel and where I see it going. I've been using this one for quite a while. I got it in January. It is the Veganomicon by Chandra, and I think it's with Terry Hope Romero, which is one of her friends. They worked on this book together. If you're not a very experienced cook, there are recipes in here for you to check out, but the majority of them are a little bit harder and a little bit more time consuming than I necessarily like when I cook. I think this would be a good book to break out if you're trying to impress, I don't know, a boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, you have your family over, you want to make a really impressive vegan meal. I would say this would be the book for you. But for everyday stuff, like, I feel like there are other books out there that I like a little bit more, like The 30-Minute Vegan by Mark Renfield and Jennifer Murray. I'll be doing a separate video on that. I just have the ebook of that, though I don't have like a physical copy of The 30-Minute Vegan, so I can't show it to you, but I'll have a separate review on that, probably on my blog. But what I do like about Isa, she does make being a vegan accessible. She does break it down. Like, what I do like is, as you can see, there are these little symbols in the book. You can see that. The S means that it is soy-free. The G means it's gluten-free. The F means it's like fat-free or reduced fat. And the little shopping cart means that it has ingredients that are easily found in any supermarket that you could go to. So I find that really helpful, especially since I do live in Iowa. I don't have a lot of options at my grocery store. Like, I'm lucky. There is a chain of grocery stores in my area called Hy-Vee, and they do have a really good selection of ethnic and health food items, so I'm really lucky that way. But if I'm at, you know, a more generic, general grocery store, sometimes they might not carry everything that you would need for these recipes. So this kind of helps me plan, like, what I need, which store I need to go to, if I can just go to, you know, the grocery store really close to where I live, or if I need to make an extra trip. So that is nice that it does that. They do have some pictures, which is nice. I wish there was more. I'm very much a fan of pictures in cookbooks in general, just because I feel like it helps you. Like, you realize if you're making something, doing something wrong, or if it turned out the way it was supposed to. And also they just give you inspiration for what recipes you want to try out. So this one is the spicy tempeh nori rolls. They're like vegan sushi, which I have never tried and I do want to, but they look really hard. Portobello salad with spicy mustard dressing. That looks really good. Hot sauce glazed tempeh. I don't really eat tempeh. I've never really tried it. I can't find it where I live, so I can't tell you if it's good or not. Potato and kale enchiladas with roasted chili sauce. I do want to try that one. That one sounds really good. Grilled yucca tortillas. I've never tried yucca. I don't know if I could find it where I live. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they do use more exotic ingredients sometimes. So, yeah, those are just some more pictures. There's a wide variety of stuff in here. So yeah, they do have some pictures, but I feel like they need to have more, especially for the amount of recipes that are in here. The price for this book is about $27 US dollars. So, I mean, it's kind of expensive, but I think they do have it in a paperback too. So that might be a little bit more affordable for you. The main reason I really love this cookbook, though, is the wealth of information at the front of the book. It talks about, it gives you like an encyclopedia of vegan food. Like, it talks about non-dairy milk, tempeh, veganese, herbs and spices you should have in your pantry. Like, you can see there, it has a list of, you know, herbs and spices to have on hand. It really like that it goes over what you use for what, especially if you're new at cooking. That really would help, I would think. It talks about different tools you can use for baking, what they're used for. That also would help new cooks in the kitchen. It even talks about lower fat vegan cooking, which is nice because a lot of her cookbooks are kind of focused on more comfort food, so they aren't necessarily the healthiest or the most low fat, but she does have a new cookbook out called Appetite for Reduction, which I do want to buy and I want to check out in the future. So I'll let you know when I get that, but that's supposed to be more lower fat vegan cooking, which is what I'm interested in since I'm trying to lose weight. But it talks about that. It talks about nutrition in here, which is really important. It talks about how to grill vegetables. Let's see what else. It talks about how to prepare certain vegetables. That's the coolest thing. So no matter what recipe you use, if you're not sure how to prepare a certain vegetable, you can just look it up in this book, and it shows you like different ways to prepare it. Like winter squash, for example. I don't really cook squash. I probably will in the future. But it says, although steaming may be convenient, roasting most winter squashes and pumpkins brings out their sweet flavor as no other cooking method can. You can roast the squash whole in its skin and serve it in large, luscious pieces, or cut it into small caramelized pieces. So we'll give you directions for both ways, and then they proceed to give directions for both ways of doing it, which is really cool and a big reason I really like this. The section that gets the most use for me anyway are the sandwiches. I really like the sandwich section. I am a sandwich lover. They're easy, quick to make, affordable. They're comfort food. I really like the Snobby Joes in here instead of Sloppy Joes. It's like a low-fat version of a Sloppy Joe, and it's with lentils and tomato paste and pepper and onion, and it's really, really good. It reminds me of the original. It's a nice comfort food, but it's low-fat, which is nice, and it's really cheap and easy to make, which I also like. So there's stuff like that. We have a lot of really good marinades and dips in here, and I haven't even like scraped the surface of this book, so I probably will let you know more as I cook more of the recipes, but this is just a general overall feel of the book. I do feel like most of the recipes are for more advanced cooks, so and also some do require special equipment, like for the sushi rolls you do have to have like special equipment like the rolling mats and stuff like that. So a lot of them do call for blenders or food processors. I happen to have a blender, don't have a food processor that works right now, so that kind of makes things more difficult. But overall, it is a very good cookbook, and again, it would be like the Julia Child cookbook for vegan cooking. Like there's a lot of impressive, fancy, maybe more expensive recipes in here that you would save for like a special occasion or something like that. And there are some more like everyday kind of recipes. Like they do have recipes for tamales in here I want to try. Those seem like really delicious. Oh my gosh, I really love this recipe. It's called the creamy Asian pear and tempeh salad with wasabi dressing. I just subbed seitan for tempeh since I didn't have any tempeh. Tempeh is fermented tofu, I believe, which I don't have around here. So, and I really like seitan a lot. So I made seitan and put it in here in place of the tempeh, and it was so delicious. The dressing was like a veganese based dressing. It had like a spicy kick to it from the wasabi, and the pears added a nice crunch to it. It was really delicious. It was easy to make, and this one was pretty affordable. So there's stuff like that in here. So again, highlights. This has really good vegan comfort food. It has great recipes to impress your guests. It is a little bit more difficult. That would be the con. They do need more pictures. They do have beautiful pictures, but they need more of them. And I feel like they need to maybe have a bit more accessible recipes for people. You know, if they're going to do the fancy recipes, that's fine, but maybe have a little bit more everyday kind of recipes that people can make. I know they made a lot of other cookbooks. Vegan with a Vengeance has a lot more curries and that kind of thing in it. It's a little bit easier to work with. But again, the thing that I don't really love about a lot of her cookbooks is that there are a lot of ingredients involved in every recipe. So that means that it's going to cost a lot of money unless you substitute a lot of stuff. And if you're just cooking a recipe for the first time, you might be intimidated to do that. So that's the thing. It is a little bit more expensive to make the recipes in this book. So if you're looking for like affordable, everyday recipes, the 30-Minute Vegan is my favorite for that. But this is good for impressing your company. and, you know, introducing people to veganism. So yeah, I hope you liked my little book review. I'll be doing more of these in the future. I know some people have requested this book review, so thought I would do that. Do I think that it is worth the money? I don't know if I would have bought this on my own, like in the hardcover version. Paperback, I definitely would have. It would have been cheaper and a little bit more accessible for me and my budget, but I do think it's worth it, if for nothing else than for the really good instructions at the beginning about stocking a vegan pantry, about preparing all kinds of vegetables. Just the information it gives, even just at the beginning, would be worth the money for me. So, yeah, I hope this review helped you guys, and I will have more in the future. I love to read, I love to cook, and I want to share that with you guys.